Hello, my name is Zhatelier, welcome back for another episode of The Last Kingdom in Aurora Forex. And in previous episode we did start doing a fair bit more exploration, and I don't think I've actually explored too much since then. We did find actually no, that thing is something that probably happened between the episodes, didn't it? It's another mostly empty system down that way, so this branch has been very unfruitful so far, quite frankly. But what can you do? And then we got a lot of places to survey around here. We actually know that there's at least one jump point on that side. And we know that Skofning has at least one more jump point. I'm not entirely sure where that will lead, but I'm sure that we'll find out in due time. But this area has also been very poor in jump points. We know that Excalibur still expands somewhere, so we'll have to go there soon enough, I think. But it's not really a well, we don't need to worry too much about that, I reckon. And actually, ooh, right. I just realized something. In Skofning, since we did give, and we also refitted some more survey vessels, as well as researched the boarding or transport boarding bay, which should be fairly handy. And we did start on the archaeology company, so we can actually start doing the diggings, because we need to start doing that. In all fairness. Right, so Skofning. I believe because we have one of the Alexandrus survey vessels heading back in here, and going to do a refuel at the herd down there, which does have a decent bit of fuel. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be quite enough for its needs, but it might be. It could technically do its overhaul in Crucinia Imperialis already. Because we do have maintenance facilities there. We got a decent bit of maintenance supplies, 1900. We unfortunately have no fuel in there whatsoever, but we can probably figure that one out soon enough. Now, if we actually let's have a quick look at the colonies. So in Barracuda A3, Moon 2, which is the banking planet or banking moon rather, they're doing a decent bit in the nitrogen, adding about 1 year into adding nitrogen there, and it's decent progress. We could maybe get one or two more installations there to get it done faster, because there's certainly enough room for people in there. Or actually, yeah, there's plenty of workers there. Never mind. Then the other one over here has a little bit of mining that could still be done. It actually has a decent bit of duranium and titanium here. Do we? We do not have a mass driver here. Right. Well, that's going to be a slight issue, or slight delay rather. We could get a mass driver in here though and start just shooting the resources down at Virales once again. Then in Caldera, we have a bit of a worker shortage. We are now bringing in more infrastructure with the royal cargo vessels as well. Not a massive increase most likely, but it will at least improve the situation somewhat. And manufacturing efficiency is down to 80%. So what I might actually do is, for the time being, lower these back to 40%, and then increase this to 20%, just so that we can get the infrastructure a bit faster, because over here we actually need a bit more infrastructure than, for example, in Crucinia Imperialis. But it does have 27 construction factories and 17 mines, so basically 27 mines and 27 construction factories, which honestly is not bad. They got one fuel refiner which doesn't produce a lot. We did bring in some maintenance facilities here, so that we'll eventually be able to harbor the entire hand fleet, which is currently 2 corvettes, but hey, it's better than some of the other factions. Then in Odin they are doing their terraforming, but again, it's very slow. We need to get a bit more on that. Well, I mean, we are going to be building another terraforming installation, but again, that's not going to be particularly quick. Then Crucinia Imperialis, we already went through this a little bit. They also got 27 construction factories, but they got 20 mines. They got 5 maintenance facilities. They got a deep space tracking station as well, and they got a decent situation in terms of population. They're actually about at the limit right now, but they got 400,000 workers available. So yeah, that's not too bad. They'll get that in order soon enough. I mean, they are also building a decent bit of construction factories and mines. So the more they build construction factories, the faster they'll build everything else as well. I mean, it's currently not massive speed. It's about 1.5 construction factories per year. But that should pick up speed soon enough. Then of course they have the colony here, which actually doesn't have anything yet. Then in Mimung, the mining colony of the royal faction. They got a decent bit of resources here. I did just send in recently sent in the collector one from Trade or Commerce Guild, not Trade Guild, Commerce Guild, to get or pick up the resources, bring them back to Veralis. At some point, we do need to start figuring out where to set up some colonies for the Commerce Guild, because I know that they need to or want to have a lot of colonies varying places where they can gather up some payments and then build a few things, or maybe trade some of the goods or the minerals for more ships and stuff like that. Then over here we got pretty good mining progress going still. We got we got a bit more minerals in here than I realized. We'll have to negotiate that with the Miners Guild on what they want to do with those minerals. They might want to start gathering up those minerals in the future colony, in fact. And then there's a few other sets of minerals in here, or asteroids over there that they will be mining through. And maybe even that one, I'm not entirely sure about that. Then in St. Petersburg they have 5 construction factories and a total of 9 mines. They got the mass driver there, and in here we got 1 auto mine, so that gives us a little bit thorium in here. It's very small amount, mind you, but it's still better than nothing. And now with the mercassium, oh right, we brought in some mercassium from Mimung, in fact, in here. But once we get the archaeology company's research, we can then at least start figuring out what the tech level of this ruin over here is, and well, we'll need the actual construction units to be able to exploit the ruins, but that's alright. Then Iadis has a little bit extra workers there. We got 2 construction factories so far, 7 automated mines, we got 2 terraforming installations helping with the terraforming, not to mention the orbital terraforming modules. So they are actually doing, well, still not all that big progress, to be fair. We are going to have to improve that by getting more of the modules, most likely, on the orbit, but at least it's better than nothing. And yeah, they got a little bit over there, but that's about it in terms of the colonies that have population. I mean, Hephaestus has a little bit of mining going on in there, and it actually mines a fair bit. I might want to bring in a bit more automated mines in here, but the problem is that Veralis is running a bit low on corundium, so I'm kind of reluctant on queuing up more automated mines here, and even regular mines is kind of here and there, so we might not be building too much of that. We're going to be building some of the orbital miners, of course, and stuff like that. But anyway, let's not get stuck here for too long, but rather keep going now. Okay, she refitted Drachma 2, so that's the Collector 2 refitted. And then of course we have the regular thorium shortage. I haven't actually checked how much we are producing right now. It's down to 1700 tons per year. Yeah, that's not great. We have a little bit fuel reserves though, because we have been bringing in quite a bit of fuel. And a lot of the freighters are now refueling at the Barracuda Herd number 2, new shipping line. Oh, Procus Transport Alliance. Okay, interesting. Oh, and research completed. We got the composite armor finally. I think actually the next thing that we want to do is get the damage control. We put 2 research on that, and then actually. What? We're going to get construction equipment after the archaeology company, so I'm going to add in another research lab there, just so that we can start exploiting the ruins, because we hopefully can find some fuel in those. And that would be very handy. Right, so we're actually focusing on softening down here, and it's the... Oh, the hand survey down here. Oh, where are you heading? Oh, you're heading back to refuel. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You came from Joyous. Speaking of Joyous, there were no jump points in there, so it's a dead end right now. I mean, there might be some that connect back to there, but right now it should be a fairly safe system, considering that House Alexandrus is protecting that, so the faithful should have pretty nice conditions there. Now, Nagling is going to be home system probably for the Miners Guild, and Fringing is going to be for the Gas Harvesters Guild, but we have not figured out where to keep the commercial or commerce guild. Like, there would be somewhere around here would be a pretty good location. Probably even Barracuda. Just to, you know, keep things close by. I mean, if nothing else, I could even give the banking planet to the Commerce Guild and start settling that a little bit more. And eventually it might actually be rather handy. They can have a decent population there, as long as they can get some minerals from the other factions, then they can do... Oh, and we got another gas cow, actually. So where is the tuck here? Right, so space station. Once again, tractor the gas cow and go to the Barracuda Herd number 2. Please tractor ships. And then move back there. There we go. So the herd number 2 is actually producing a decent chunk of fuel already, and it's basically keeping more or less all of our freighters that are or have had their orders changed since we started this one. There's 1.4 million liters in there still, but they do produce 4.3 million per year. And there's 7.4 million being produced on the main one in Barracuda. So yeah, it's not too bad. And Scotland there's at 2.4 still. I mean, we might increase this eventually a little bit. But there is actually another place where I want to set up some harvesters, especially once we get to the oxen. And that is in Fronting, because there is a gas giant with 6 million tons of thorium at 0.9 accessibility. So yeah, that's going to provide a lot of fuel for a long while. Not to mention that's going to be the, as I said, the home system for the guild. So they probably want to set up shop there sooner rather than later. Right, order's not possible. Romanov survey 2. Right, did we refit you? Yes, we did. You are going to require a bit of an overhaul though. And probably resupply, so let's start with those. Okay, still mineral shortages as expected. We are getting close to the end of the year here, which is, once we hit the 1st of January, we will activate the precursors. And at that point we might find them anyway. We need to be careful after that, but also we want to explore. And I wanted to add in a little bit of challenge here. Oh, right. Royal Survey number 2. Cannot go ahead and do that. Right, you have done your... Oh, you are actually Seeker Mark 4, okay. How about I put your standing orders to be then... to go just the system requiring crab set, or... How about I move you to the other Scotland? I know that there's another unexplored jump point there, and it's only going to take us 37 days to get there. That's not too bad. And then the Alexandrus Survey 1... Oh, did you go all the way back here? I thought you were refueling at the other one. Alexandrus Survey 1. Okay. You did refuel all the way here. Okay. Well, why don't you do your overhaul then, because you got this far. Now, luckily we have set the planet where the... presumably Rakhas were as a banned body, so we shouldn't be flying too close to that anymore. But we may need to start exploring that system, because we're running locations to go through in there. Right, so mineral shortage. Yeah. Oh, Joyous. Oh, one of the moons. Okay, it's not as much as I hoped for. But yeah, we are using the Lagrange points. Actually, no, not that Lagrange point. But we have used that to get over here, I'm pretty sure. Maybe. Right, but let's have a look, actually. So we know that there's a little bit of chance of finding new minerals in there. So it was that moon. We haven't surveyed the Super Jovian in here either. It might have a lot of fuel, so we might want to set up some harvesters over there as well, in due time. Okay, Joyous Moon 7... Oh, okay, 100,000 uranium, 78,000 boronite. Okay, it's... Oh, 65,000 thorium. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Not entirely sure how big the moon is. Ah, and we constructed another mule. That's good. I'll probably assign that into a fleet in the next episode, but we're not out of time for this one yet, by any means. But I'll do a lot of the... Oh, we completed the archaeology company. Right, so now what we need to do, real quick, is formation template, new. We'll go with a battalion, I suppose. And then this would be a... Not A, AB, YAB. Right, so let's see. You wanted to have archaeology companies. I can get 4 on you at the same time. If I go for a bigger one, I suppose I could get more, but at the same time, I want to be able to transport just 1 or 2 of these at the same time with the kangaroos, so this will probably do. Let's get in a battalion HQ. And then we got 100 and... okay. Let me get some emplacements, perhaps. Get a couple of rapid-fire emplacements. And let's see, we got another 70 points to use. Another 2 rapid-fire emplacements, and then we got another 22 points to use. So we can put in 2 squads of footmen and 2 squads of knights. So that's exactly 1,000 tons. Not necessarily the best, but it does have a decent amount of points there. And if we build 2 of these and let them work together, then that's going to be a decent bit of points. So we can do the archaeology stuff relatively quickly, at least. Right, so we got that set up. How about we go ahead and train 2 of those immediately? Or start training them immediately. First one is going to be done in February. We can probably transport the first one to St. Petersburg and then get the second one there soon after that. Right, so the construction equipment is going to take a while. Oh, and Faithful number 2, Barracuda. How's the fuel situation? About 3 million litres, not too bad, I suppose. So Faithful Survey 2, you have been refitted. I believe there's still some surveying that could be done in Joyous. I'm going to send you there. I'll figure out your proper location there later. Right, Royal Cargo 1 has completed orders. Actually, what does the Royal Cargo 1 have? It's 2 older ships. Let's close these real quick. And transfer ships easier. So we got Mule Mark 4. I'm going to send you down there. Are these... We've got some over there and some over there. So this is the older design. I'm going to send you down to the shipyard. And I'm going to send you down to the shipyard fleet as well. I'm going to maybe give some of those to the factions. Or I could set up a 4th Royal Cargo fleet. That wouldn't be necessarily a terrible idea either. But yeah, this one has now pretty good speed. It still has... Oh, it only has 1 million... Oh, actually. That's 2.9... Oh yeah, it has about 1 million litre fuel capacity, whereas these have 1.4. Is the range? The range is much smaller, to be fair. But it doesn't need to have a massive range. As long as it refuels every time it gets back to capital, that's going to be just fine. So one thing... Oh, actually. Why don't we give you an easy start? You are going to load up a terraforming installation. And take it down there. And load all installations. Repeat another 4 times. And then, where's the fleet? Barracuda Herrick number 2, refuel from stationary targets, and then move back to Verala. So you won't have exactly full fuel tanks, but close enough, really. Close enough. We'll let the shipyard fleet be shipyard fleet for the time being. We'll figure out how to distribute those ships later. And we are on 1st of January, so I'm going to give it a quick save. And then what we're going to do is we are going to activate precursors and save settings. And let's actually have a... I'm not entirely sure if I need to play the game. I might have to. So it might reload it, or not necessarily. But now, in at least theory, let's just gonna have a quick look. No, it does not actually save the settings. Let me put on the Space Master mode. Try that again. Generate precursors, save settings, and play the game. It might not be doing it immediately, but we will be adding that properly at some point. Oh, and we found a new system. And I'm just quickly checking one more time, did it? No, it still doesn't. Okay, it could be that I need to restart the game and then do that, but I'm going to do that between the episodes and just make sure that it's working. But in theory, this could have been the first system with precursors. So where is this? Oh, it's over there. Interesting. So there's still this branch that might be continuing a fair bit over there. If it does, then we may need to move this down there in place of Chandrakas, or we could even move this entire branch down on the south side. That would leave us a lot of room over there. But yeah, we are oh, actually, so there's no inhabitable planets in this system. Well, not easily. There's 2 Venusian planets, and then another terrestrial planet with a little bit less atmosphere. There's some comets in there. Doesn't seem like it's a massive system, by the way. We'll see how it goes. Jump point detected on Chiam Solaris. And then I've got, ooh, new mineral deposit in ooh. Okay, Juice A8. Oh, it's actually A8, not A7. Right. A8 has thorium. It's only 0.4 accessibility, but it's 8 million tons, so we can certainly set up a shop there with the Gas Harvesters Guild. Or the Gas Harvesters Guild can set up shop there and provide some fuel for the Faithful, for example. Because I'm sure that they want to get their hands on that fuel. Okay, Trade Fleet number 2 has completed orders. What did you do previously? History. Oh, right, you deliver some maintenance facilities to Calradia. Let's have a quick look at the situation at the colonies once again. Oh, actually, perhaps if we have a look at the Grunting, which was the colony that we want? Oh, actually, that. Oh, we can't inhabit that, but we could certainly start sending some auto miners in there for the Gas Harvesters Guild to utilize, and basically they're probably going to have to set up their colony on this planet, which has very slow max or very small max population. On the other hand, most of our colonies are not all that big anyway, so far. So we might, especially if we can get a little bit terraforming there, should be fairly quick because it's a bloody small planet. We could potentially lower the temperature with some anti-greenhouse gases, which would then make sure that we don't need as much infrastructure there. It's not going to increase the max population there. We'll have to use some orbital habitats probably at some point to make it. But I mean, the Gas Harvesters Guild doesn't need a massive amount of industry or anything like that. It's just enough to build up some of their cattle, so to speak. Right, so if we want to provide the... Ooh. This wouldn't be bad either. I mean, it's very high colony cost, which is a problem. I mean, technically we might be able to get rid of some of the pressure there, and then therefore lower the temperature there, as well as make that properly colonizable. So this might be a very long-term project, but it could work. Especially with orbital terraforming, it might work. So Gas Harvesters Guild and the Faithful might have to come up with an agreement regarding that. I mean, I suppose The faithful do have the gas giant in there that they want their fuel from, most likely, so I think that would work quite well, actually. I'll have to think about that. Or let the players think about that, rather. Right, so... yeah, that has a brilliant resource. We'll get some auto mines over there, so Fronting A3 is going to be the one where we'll take that. So Viralis, load installation. We've still got some automated mines there, so we'll be taking 2. And then go to Fronting. It was the A3, just making sure. Yep, A3. So we'll unload all installations there. And then we can auto route back to Barracuda. We can refuel at the Barracuda herd number 2. And then we can repeat that another 4 times. It shouldn't take too long, actually. And then we're going to go back to Viralis. But with that, we seem to be out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.